Welcome to the PBC Living Podcast. My name is Jamin. I'm your first friend in South Florida, and luckily for you, I'm also a real estate agent. The purpose of this podcast is to answer the question of what is it like living in South Florida and the Palm Beach County specifically from the perspective of people who do live here. And today we're very lucky to be joined by Alex with Jack the Bikeman. He's the executive director of this charity here, and he's going to be telling us all about kind of the West Palm Beach County, and the Jack the Bikeman. So, Alex, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Jen.
So let's get started with this. How long have you lived in Palm Beach County?
This will be my 10th year in Palm Beach County. August will be my 10th year.
Okay, very nice. Now, where did you move from before coming here?
I was in Southern California, LA and Santa Barbara, to be specific.
Okay, very nice. And what brought you from California?
A girlfriend, a former girlfriend. Yes.
Oh man, that's rough.
Well, it turned out well because I really like this area, so I stayed.
Okay. I was about to say that'd be cold. Like you get here and then it doesn't work out. It's like crap, and here comes a hurricane.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I did. There was a hurricane the first year that I was here. So
fooling. Like, do you remember which one that was?
It was one that almost hit West Palm. Like the last 20, 30 miles, it just went up north instead of hitting directly West Palm. It went just a little bit up north and missed us. Oh. I don't remember the name of it, which hurricane that was, but
it's scary though.
Yeah, it was quite the welcome from Florida.
Absolutely, because there's not as many hurricanes up in California as there is in Florida. So
no, not at all. Nope.
Which part of Palm Beach County did you move to initially, and then where you kind of gravitate to now?
Initially, for the first couple months, I was in Martin County, Port St. Lucie area.
Okay.
And then came down to West Palm, the Northwood area. And now I'm currently in Palm Beach Gardens area.
Very nice, very nice. What'd you think of the Port St. Lucie area?
Well, I didn't get to spend too much time there. I was there maybe 2 months max. Okay. I liked it. A lot more remote for sure.
Yeah.
And especially more so, when you compare it to coming from LA, it's, night and day, the comparison.
Yeah. Putting the words in your mouth, but compared to what you're used to, it had to have been like a little podunk town, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to describe it. It could be like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that whole area is really blown up in the past couple of years. Have you gone and seen it recently?
Yes, I have. Yeah, it's crazy how much just construction, everything is just moving up from Miami up to, I guess Jacksonville. It's going to be everything, just one huge city or something. Yeah,
well, that's the thing I don't think a lot of people understand is you get migration north coming south, but then you also get a lot of migration south going north now because, Miami's getting real expensive for, the middle class, us.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like Orlando and then Miami. It's kind of like squishing everybody in between, it seems like.
Yeah. I think eventually we're just going to have one giant mega community along the entire coast.
Yeah, it seems like it. That's kind of how it is right now already, right? Because you come from Miami all the way to West Palm, Jupiter, Tequesta. It seems like it's all one big
Yeah, you got to go out a
city.
long ways till you just see open coast. It's pretty much non-existent. Now, one thing I found really interesting when I got here was going north-south, not a whole lot of difference, but as soon as you start going the other way, east-west, it's just such a big difference at that point. You're just in the middle of a ranch, a farm within
really
10
is.
minutes.
Yeah, if you do, if you go, take a road trip and go to Tampa and you go across, Lake Okeechobee and all that, it's very different. All those little towns in between here and Tampa.
Yeah.
When you cross Central Florida, it's very different. So yeah, you're right. Going from east to west, west to east, it's very different.
Absolutely. So what was that first couple of years like for you?
It was definitely difficult to get used to the weather aspect of it because it's so humid over here. California, it's pretty amazing weather over there year round. So I think the weather aspect was very challenging. I grew up in a desert, and so also California was kind of the same thing. So it took a while to just get used to also I guess the way of life here in Florida is just a little bit more laid back. People from New York always would criticize people from LA, saying that they're too laid back in LA, but it seems like over here it's even more laid back.
Yeah, that kind of impresses me, honestly. Like, I've heard like Southern California was always known for like being this really chill, laid back kind of hippie vibe, but is that just not?
Well, I guess you have the pockets,
that's the
right?
stereotype, but it's not reality. Okay.
I'm I guess if you're like, in a beach town like, Manhattan Beach or Redondo Beach or something like that, or Malibu, I think those areas are a lot more laid back. But if you're like, in proper LA or downtown LA area, it's a lot more upbeat.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Did you have any expectations of Florida that you got here and totally turned out to be true?
I guess maybe gators, like just, there's always gators everywhere. I mean, not that you're seeing gators everywhere, but, the whole thing of like, if there's any open water, assume that there's a gator in there.
Yeah.
And it seems like for the most part, that's kind of true. I've never been close to getting bit or anything like that, but yeah, I would say that's one thing.
Yeah. How about expectations that turned out not to be true?
I guess you see the Florida Man videos or things like that you think everybody's like that here, and that's obviously not the case. So, I mean, there's extremes, right? There's all sorts of people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I heard the headline for so long, I thought it was all the same dude. Like, it was like there's just one crazy dude out here just doing all this stuff. He's like the world's most interesting man.
Yeah.
In a bad way.
Yeah, very true. Yes.
In a very negative way.
Yes, a very negative way. Yeah.
Okay, so got here and kind of got all settled in. What would you say the cost of living has been like the past couple of years? Because that's really one drawback a lot of people have when they're considering moving to this area. Obviously, Palm Beach County, it's known for being one of the more affluent, expensive places to live. But what's kind of been your experience?
Well, when I first got here, it was a huge difference, right? The cost of living was way lower than LA and Santa Barbara. But like you said, last 2-3 years, I'd say the last 5 years at least, it's almost caught up to what South, LA County is. So I would say it's pretty close and it's pretty expensive, like you said. There's still pockets, I would say, of Palm Beach County or Palm Beach area here in West Palm that's still a little bit affordable, but not very much so.
Yeah, and the problem is, like, for a lot of people, at least housing-wise, like the places where they can go to like find it more affordable, they're going to like the Port St. Lucie's or these other areas that are developing out really quickly. And that's all fine and good, but the drawback that's kind of hidden beneath the surface is if you're in an area with all new construction, you need to plan on staying put for at least 5 years if it's new construction. Because what happens is, like, you buy it 2-3 years later, you go to sell. Well, now all your competition is all these brand new construction houses. And yes, your house is only 2 years old, but you're up against brand new and you're just going to sit on the market for a long time. So it can kind of turn into a trap that way, I've seen lately.
Yeah. And I mean, like, all the new construction also, they just jump up the price on everything, and it prices out a lot of people that have been here for a long time. And it kind of seems like it's catering more towards the people that are migrating from LA, from New York type of thing, where their level of income is much higher than a lot of the people here.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of those folks, they get here and it's like, man, that's the cheapest house I've ever seen. But for us, it's like,
yeah, it's like,
700,000's not.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna turn my nose up at that. Like, that's not nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess to that point, it's definitely not close to what LA and New York prices are, but it seems like it's getting there closer and closer.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I know it's going up everywhere, but I mean, here you've got in-migration with everyone moving here, and then you've got, everyone moving from not everyone, but a lot of people moving from like Miami and more southern Florida, like up this way too. So kind of feeling it from both directions.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, and one thing I found interesting, I did a study a little while ago, kind of diving into it. The vast majority of people that were moving Florida, at least because of the costs, they ended up not actually moving away from Florida. Most of them ended up just moving somewhere else in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, they collected a lot of data. I think it was like Atlas or Van Lines or something like that, like one of these big conglomerate moving companies, and they had people list out the reasons they decided to leave. The vast majority of people that reported and said why they left the state, it had everything to do with wanting to be closer to family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which usually it's all about affordability. People are like, it's so expensive here, I'm out. But that accounted for like 3 or 4%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's a lot easier to go online and say you're moving because it's too expensive than it is to go on and say, yeah, I'm moving because I'm lonely here. I can't make friends. It's like,
yeah. I guess that it's a better excuse to say that, right, than to say what the actual truth may be.
Yeah. That's my theory anyway. Okay, but so you're kind of living in the Palm Beach Gardens area right now. How would you say Palm Beach Gardens is different from like a West Palm Beach or Jupiter and kind of these surrounding communities?
So I would say Palm Beach Gardens is a more kind of family-oriented place than I would say West Palm Beach is. I think West Palm Beach is a little bit more, I guess, more the hip vibe. There's more things to do downtown West Palm than there is downtown Palm Beach Gardens. And then I would say Jupiter is even more laid back or more family oriented or more beach oriented, I would say, than the West Palm and Palm Beach Gardens area. Yeah,
I mean, I feel like that kind of sums it up.
Mm-hmm.
For people that are really looking for that nightlife kind of feel, it's like, I don't think the Gardens is...
Yeah.
I don't think you should stop in the Gardens.
Yeah. No, yeah.
You're going to be very disappointed. Everything closes up at like 10:30.
It seems like it. You're right. Yeah. I think I went out last week at some point and it was, we were like, oh, let's go to, which one was it? Waxon's, I believe.
That's
and
right.
I was like, oh, it closes at 10. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's it for tonight, which is okay because it was a school night. So.
Yeah, man, that's there's never been a more garden statement than that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But I can't complain. Gardens is great, though. Gardens is great. It's a good area too, though. So.
Absolutely. Well, let's do this then. Let's do like pros and cons of living in the Gardens. And the people that watch this, they're realists. They understand there's a lot of great places, a lot of good things about living places, but nowhere's perfect. So don't feel like you need to sugarcoat the bad things.
Okay. All right.
So what would you say the pros and cons are?
Pros of the Gardens. I would say traffic is very low. Of course, certain areas might be a little bit of traffic. Is if you live close to, that big kind of PGA Boulevard and 95. So people kind of getting on that area, that gets a little congested for sure. But other than that, I would say the traffic is pretty low. Your access to the beach is really quick. You can get to the beach, within 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You can kind of bike it there as well. There are some sort of bike-friendly paths that you can take. Not too many, but there are a few. Also, I would say restaurants are pretty good-ish in Palm Beach Gardens. Recreation things like parks, things like that, I would say are pros of Palm Beach Gardens. There's that big Palm Beach Gardens tennis center, tennis rec area. That's really close to I-95 and PGA Boulevard. That's a really cool area. In fact, they even have apparently the teams for the World Cup, England and Portugal are training there, are practicing there. Unfortunately, it's closed to the public, so people can't go there and watch them practice.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool that they're actually using that facility to train. Let me see. Cons of Palm Beach Gardens. If you live close to the train tracks, There is the Brightline that goes right through there once an hour. And then you get the freight train that goes there early in the morning, maybe a little bit late at night. So sometimes you have to deal with that. It's not too bad. What are things? I guess we touched on the nightlife. It's not.
Which could be a pro or con, depending on who you are.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not in my 20s where I'm like, I need to go partying every weekend type of thing. So I'm in my 40s. So, that's definitely lessened. So it's not something that I'm like, it's got to be one of my, things that I got to check off my.
Yeah, that's what Miami's for, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you want to take that 1 hour and a half, 2 hour drive to Miami to do that, then yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Oh, outstanding. So tell me about Jack the Bikeman.
So Jack the Bikeman is a local nonprofit based out of West Palm Beach. This is our 19th year as a nonprofit. What we do is we collect bicycles throughout the county and then refurbish those bicycles and then donate them back into the community through various programs. We collect bikes of all sorts, kids' bikes, adult-sized bikes, trikes, recumbent bikes, cruiser bikes, road bikes, mountain bikes, all that kind of stuff. And we have various partnerships with a lot of Title I schools where we give these bikes back into the community. We also have a lot of partnerships with nonprofits throughout the county where we get direct referrals from them to provide bicycles for their clients. So the way we refurbish these bicycles is by our bike technicians that we have here at the shop, and also volunteers and people that have to do community service hours help us out as well to get all these bikes out. Last year, we gave out a little over 1,600 bikes during the year, which is amazing. About half of those at this point went out to adults, and the other half were to kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome to hear, especially to kind of hear that ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, if an adult's getting a bike, then, that's going to be like one of their main modes of transportation. It's not just some toy
exactly
for a kid who's going to leave it out in the rain. No, that's an adult who's using it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, some of the kids that do get the bike,
of course,
go to school with the bike, which helps out the parent. But like you said, a lot of the adults use the bicycle to get to work, to get to medical appointments, go grocery shopping, that kind of thing. Because one of the downsides of this area is the public transportation. It's not the best. And so the bicycle kind of bridges that gap a little bit because the bus system isn't the best. There's no real good trains, although the Tri-Rail tries to help with that. But west to east or east to west, the public transportation is not good at all. And so that bicycle really does help a lot of the adults get to work, get to medical appointments, that kind of thing.
I can definitely see that. So we were talking a little bit about him earlier, but Jack is the one that kind of founded the shop initially. What was kind of his vision? Like, what was he trying to accomplish at the time? Did he start out trying to,
No, this kind of thing. So this kind of started from his front porch in the mid to late 90s. He was retired at the time and was not in a good mental state. And there were a couple of kids that fell off their bike right in front of him, in front of his porch, and he noticed that one of the kids' bikes there's something wrong with the brake. So he went out there and fixed it and kind of shooed them away. And it's like, get out of here. And sure enough, a couple of days later or the next day, a couple other kids came over and they were like, oh, we heard that you helped my friends, fix their bike. Can you fix my bike? And sure enough, it just kind of snowballed little by little. And what he always told me is that him fixing or helping other people, in this case with bicycles and fixing bikes, is that it kind of flicked off these negative thoughts that he had in his head about himself or about the world. And it just gave him another purpose in life. And it grew into what it is now today, Jack the Bikeman, where we're all over the county and we give out, thousands of bikes per year.
Man, it's amazing what can happen, when sometimes in the doors there, like you're going to be surprised what happens, whether you planned on it working that way or not.
And then when he first started, when he did that, and it kind of started growing for him, he kind of, the area that he was living in, there was a lot of Guatemalans that lived there. And so they kind of were helping him out in his daily life with helping him, I don't know, with chores around the house or, things like that. And then he kind of became an advocate for them in the area that he lived in, where they would come to him for support or, to kind of learn the ways of what they should be doing to live in the community and be law-abiding citizens. And so it kind of merged into this thing where he really wanted at first to just have a bike giveaway once a year for Christmas for kids. And then the other half of the year he would hopefully spend living in Guatemala because he ended up just being fascinated with that culture and that country and the people there. And so that's how initially Jack the Bikeman was, where he wanted it just to be a Christmas giveaway for kids at the end of the year, and that was it. But little by little, it just kept growing. The need for bicycles grew, not just for kids but for adults as well. And so now all the bikes that we get, about half of the bikes are for adults and half of the bikes are for kids, and it's a year-long process. And we give out bikes year-long, not just at Christmas.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear how an effort like this, a nonprofit like this, actually brings the community together in that way. Because no pun intended, it could literally be used as a vehicle to bring the community together. If that's what its intent is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's beautiful. So, what would you say are some of the challenges of running a nonprofit like this? Because there's a lot of moving parts here, and so what are some of the challenges?
I think the number one challenge for almost any nonprofit would be funding. We're lucky enough that we can get about half of our funding, close to half of our funding, through the bike shop. So some of the bikes, all the bikes that we get are donated by the community to us, and so some of those bikes we do use as our fundraiser of sorts. So we sell some of those bikes, and then we also service bikes for the community. So that revenue that we get from the shop, from the bike shop, helps support about half of our operations. And then the other half is through grants and through individual donations. We don't do very many events where it's fundraising events. We really don't have the means to do that yet. We want to get there at some point. But I would say funding is the number one thing. Also, location. I think a lot of nonprofits struggle with rent. And that's something that we've struggled with in the past. We hopefully we'll be selling the building that we own that's right next door to where we're at right now. That's a building that was purchased by Jack the Bikeman about 5 years ago now. And that was going to be the forever home of Jack the Bikeman. That was his vision, to have that. But unfortunately, because of the cost of living, the expenses, the cost to renovate that building was just kept going up and up and up, to the point that there's no way that we could fundraise that amount of money. It was going to be about $5 million that we needed to fundraise to be able to move into this building. Yeah,
that's intense.
Yes, and that cost just kept growing and growing. And so, unfortunately, when Jack passed in July of 2023, the board voted for us to place that building on the market, and we are pretty close to closing on that property. So hopefully we will be able to have that windfall and be able to either move into a new location, rent out a place, or if something comes up that we can maybe purchase, that'd be great as well.
What's kind of an ideal location for a nonprofit bike? For a biking repair nonprofit?
Well, for us, definitely it's anywhere between, I'd say, Riviera Beach and Lake Worth, and east of Military.
Gotcha.
That's kind of like the pocket that we'd be looking to stay in. So I think that's just, for us, is the best location, not just for customers, but also for our clients and for our employees as well, because we have a few employees that commute, that either take the train or bike into the shop as well.
Yeah. So if anyone's watching this and you got a property that fits that description, reach out. Let's make it happen.
Yes, please. Especially if the rent is really low. Yeah, or even free.
Yeah.
If possible.
That's optimal.
Yes, that would be optimal. Yes. Uh-huh.
What's the biking scene like just in general here?
I'd say it's pretty avid. There are a lot of biking clubs here in Palm Beach County. A lot of people in Boca, a lot of people up in Jupiter, a few in West Palm for sure. I think a lot of people frown upon some of those just because you can get up to 20, 40 people biking and taking up a whole lane of traffic, and then motorists get pissed off because of that. So sometimes I think it's a love-hate between the motorists and the cyclists here because of that. But I think it is a pretty, I would say the road biking and the gravel biking are the main forms of biking here. Cruiser bikes as well around the beach area. Not a lot of mountain biking.
What's a cruiser bike?
Just a cruiser bike. It's kind of like the one up there that you see, that green one.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of like a cruiser bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was envisioning something for like the sand. It's like, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. There are a few that you supposedly can take, but I don't recommend them. It has to be kind of a fat tire type of thing.
Oh, no. That sounds absolutely miserable.
But yeah, even then, like you're not going to be really riding that thing on the sand. No. It'd have to be really compact sand for you to be able to ride on the beach. Yeah.
Just complete psycho out there on a fat tire bike on the beach.
Yeah. I guess you could do it maybe if it's an electric bike, then I think it would have enough power to go through the sand.
Solves a lot of problems right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to cover a lot of evil.
Yes.
So what are like some big needs you guys have right now that the community can help you guys out with?
I would say definitely bicycles. Right now the warehouse is semi-full with bikes. We are going to be pretty empty with bikes by the end of the summer. So by the end of August, mid-August, all the bikes that you see out here will be gone because they'll be back to school. So we're going to be doing a lot of big bike giveaways during late July, early August for back to school. So we're going to need a lot more bikes to fix up and be able to distribute during the holidays and also during the rest of the year. Yeah. So bicycles is what we need.
Right. And what condition do the bikes need to be in?
Ideally, they're still in good shape where they don't need to be refurbished too much. Flat tires is fine. That kind of thing is okay. But if the bike is completely rusted up, where everything is rusted on the bike, then we really can't do hardly anything with that bike. We just don't have the means to really refurbish that entire bike that's completely rusted. So if the bike is not rusted, then we can definitely still do a lot of things with it.
Yeah, well, that's definitely good to know then. Mm-hmm. And for anyone looking to donate a bike, what's going to be the best way for them to reach out to you?
Best way is to go through our website. We have a button that says donate a bike. You can fill out that form and you can, we'll put you on a list and we can go pick it up. Or you can come and donate the bike at our shop Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can also donate bikes at REI. So there's an REI in Palm Beach Gardens and there's an REI in Boca. And those are hubs for Jack the Bikeman as well. So people can donate their bike there and then we'll eventually get around to picking the bikes up there at REI.
Oh man, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. All right, well, Alex, I really do appreciate you coming on here and kind of sharing your perspective for the area and kind of talking a little bit about the nonprofit. I mean, this is quite an operation you guys have going on here. So I'm excited to see what the next chapter, next phase holds for y'all. Everyone else, we'll have the link to the bike shop and everything down below. If you're looking for a nonprofit to kind of get plugged into or have any bikes or anything like that, then do feel free to reach out. And yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.